Hi, it's Leanne Spencer. Hope you're well. This is the third video in the series centered around my 50th birthday, and I've been telling some stories about things I've learned about business, things I've learned about life in general, or about resilience and well-being, which is, let's face it, my bag. But how did I get into professional speaking? That's a question I get asked a lot. And it kind of started back in 2012 when I left the city in a state of burnout and just thought, well, what am I going to do next? What can I do that helps me to earn cash pretty quickly, but doesn't take a long time to train for? It's predicated around health. And what I came up with was retraining as a personal trainer. And I did this for a few years. I got my first client actually by putting a post up on the East Dulwich Forum. I bought a medicine ball, some kettlebells, a rucksack, some pads to hold for people to box into, and bought a bike, and I would cycle from park to park meeting my clients. And if you think that's a lot of kit to having a rucksack on a bike, you'd be right. Every time I turned a corner in wet weather, I would slip off the bike. Anyway, after a while, I'd built up the business to the point where we had a number of different personal trainers, and we were doing great. We were meeting our clients in the park, they were enjoying it. But one time we sat down as a team and we thought, are we really doing the best job for our clients? Because a lot of them were arriving into the parks at the beginning or the end of the day, tired, really tired. You know, they had their nervous systems were elevated. What they really needed to do is take the rucksack of stuff off their backs and go for a walk and have a chat. And I say rucksack as a metaphor, but also literally. So we thought, what can we do to sort of redress or reshape the way we train people? And we came up with the 6 signals. And those signals are sleep, mental health, energy, body composition, digestive health and fitness. So fitness is a really important part of well-being, but it's a small component. That was the holistic model that we created, the 6 signals. And we carried on training clients in more of a coaching capacity as well as personal training for a number of years. And we got great results. And we would do other things like stool testing, DNA testing, saliva testing, blood testing to get really accurate information about that individual. But in about 2016, I went to see an old boss, my first boss, a straight-talking Yorkshireman. And he said to me, Leanne, you've got this important message to spread around health, well-being and performance. But why don't you stop doing it one person at a time, which can be difficult, and go back and talk to corporates about speaking to their teams? And also around that time, I got the opportunity to do a TEDx talk. I wasn't ready for it per se, but the theme, it perfectly matched what I wanted to talk about. It was in Wandsworth, just down the road from me. So I applied and got a position, a slot on that particular show. And the TEDx talk, by the way, we'll link to in the notes, but it's called Why Fitness is More Important Than Weight. It's had well over 130,000 views on YouTube, real success, and a really strong message as well that's still valid today. And that was my leap into professional speaking, because I thought, I've been on stage, I love it. I think I've got important messages to share, so let's try and make a career out of this. And I found some niche subjects, some niche areas, resilience, energy, mood, motivation, all within high performance, and constructed Cadence and Bond and Sustain out of that. So that was the sort of evolution of my content. But last week I talked about being adaptable. I think when you're building a career, building a personal brand, taking something out to market, you have to be very, very adaptable. But what I also learned is that it takes quite a long time to find your niche. So you need to be patient, you need to be iterative, you need to be good at letting go of stuff that's not working and developing and taking feedback. And I've really found something that I absolutely love. So there's a few lessons in there potentially, but it's an interesting story really of how I went from burnt out as a city worker and account director to a personal trainer, to a coach, to a speaker and consultant. It's a kind of interesting evolution, a life of 2 halves if you like. I hope that's been interesting. I hope it's been entertaining to hear about that. Next week will be the final series of videos about me at 50, and then we're going to talk about alcohol in April. So look out for that. All the best for now.